Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're doing something a little bit different. Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're doing something a little bit different. We're completely ditching the serious analytics, no grounded predictions today. Instead, we're mapping out the absolute craziest, completely fictional scenarios for the upcoming tournament. Like, what would actually happen if the greatest sporting event on Earth just turned into a pure comedy of errors? Okay, let's dive into this. We are definitely not taking things seriously today. I mean, what if the 2026 World Cup went completely insane? What happens if the beautiful game just completely loses its collective mind? Let's map out this totally ridiculous alternate reality together, step by step, right from the opening whistle all the way to lifting the trophy.
Section 1. The awkward opening match.
So, you know how every tournament starts with that grand opening, right? The eyes of the entire world are on it, the stadium is packed to the brim, and the tension is just palpable. But imagine this. The referee blows the whistle to kick off a month of football fever, and nerves are so astronomically high that absolutely nobody takes a single shot for the first 10 minutes. It's just safe, terrified passes back and forth in the midfield. 0 shots taken. Extreme nervousness is literally paralyzing both teams. It gets so agonizingly slow that the world-class commentators actually run out of football analysis and resort to just explaining the local weather patterns, because, well, literally nothing is happening on the pitch.
But then, the historic drought finally breaks. Suddenly, a defender gets the ball, absolutely panics, and strikes it beautifully, just straight into the back of his own net. Yep, an own goal. And he celebrates. He actually wheels away and does a full knee slide right toward the corner flag. Why? Because in the sheer, overwhelming panic of the opening match, he completely forgot which team he's actually playing for.
Somehow, we survived the opening match. Moving on to Section 2. VAR ruins the magic.
Okay, so now we are in the thick of mid-tournament drama. A striker connects with an absolutely breathtaking, physics-defying bicycle kick. The ball flies top corner. The stadium absolutely erupts. But wait, the referee blows the whistle, taps his ear, and points to the VAR monitor. 1 minute passes. 2 minutes pass. 5 minutes. 10 minutes. The fans in the stadium are physically growing old in the stands just waiting for this decision. I mean, by the time the officials actually make a ruling, another entirely different World Cup has practically begun.
And it is pure torture for the broadcasters, too. Imagine an energetic commentator losing his absolute mind on live television, screaming at the top of his lungs, "This is the greatest goal of all time!"
And then, just like that, VAR cancels it, the technology steps in, wipes the magic completely away, and we're right back to 0-0.
But the game resumes, and a mere 2 minutes later, an even more spectacular, unbelievable play happens on the exact opposite end of the pitch. The commentator's voice literally cracks as he rebuilds all that massive hype, screaming, "Now this is the greatest goal of all time."
And VAR cancels that one too. The technology just ruthlessly subverts our expectations and totally ruins the moment. Every single time.
And this brilliantly illustrates our next phenomenon. Section 3. Underdogs and bandwagon fans.
Because honestly, what is a World Cup without a shocking, logic-defying upset that absolutely ruins everyone's bracket? 5-0, a tiny football nation, a country you might literally have to squint to find on a map, completely and utterly dismantles a traditional multi-billion-dollar footballing giant. And it's not just a lucky scrape-by victory. Oh no, it's a humiliating 5-0 thrashing.
Instantly, the internet explodes. Suddenly, everywhere you look, there are thousands of newly minted fake football experts who supposedly saw this tactical masterclass coming for years. You read comments like, "Oh, I've been supporting them since yesterday," or, "Honestly, anyone who actually watches the game knows their left back is wildly underrated." The entire globe just jumps on the bandwagon of a team they literally didn't know existed 24 hours ago.
And the sheer scale of the chaos isn't just restricted to the internet. The traveling supporters are an absolute mess. We've got fans passionately painting their faces with the completely wrong country's flag. We have a guy who traveled thousands of miles across the globe, only to realize he bought super expensive tickets for the wrong stadium in the totally wrong city. And we have another diehard fan who literally loses his voice before the match even kicks off because he spent 6 straight hours frantically shouting at the airport luggage carousel.
So, let's move to the high-stakes knockout stages. Section 4. Pure penalty shootout chaos.
Imagine a tense, grueling knockout match. 120 minutes of exhausting football, absolutely nothing separates the teams, and it goes straight to the ultimate lottery, penalty kicks. Now, these are highly trained professional athletes, right? But under the specific fictional pressure, all fundamental skills just evaporate. The first penalty taker steps up to the spot and completely slips on the grass, barely nudging the ball forward. The second player steps up, puffs his chest out, and kicks the ball directly into the 15th row of the upper deck. The third player is so paralyzed by the moment that he actually walks up to the opposing goalkeeper and politely asks him which corner he should aim for.
The player takes the shot, aiming exactly where he was instructed, and the goalie easily saves it anyway. And then, to add ultimate insult to injury, the goalie confidently starts dancing right there on the goal line. Just pure, unfiltered chaos.
We have finally reached the climax. Section 5, the most anticlimactic final. Set the epic scene in your mind. It's the very last minute of a tied World Cup final. Billions of people around the globe are watching. The tension is unbearable. The entire world is waiting for a legendary, tournament-defining, last-minute thunderbolt from 30 yards out. Instead, well, in our hilariously clumsy reality, two tired defenders clumsily bump into each other. The ball accidentally ricochets off a shin pad and rolls incredibly slowly toward the net. The goalkeeper dives to make the heroic save, but he literally trips over his own untied shoelaces and falls flat on his face. The ball creeps over the line at roughly 1 mile per hour. So the absolute crucial takeaway here is that this slow, rolling, agonizing disaster crowns the new champions of the world. The absolute weirdest, least athletic goal in the entire history of football is what ultimately wins the biggest trophy on Earth.
As we wrap up this explainer, we obviously know that none of this is actually going to happen, probably. But the truth is, the sport always manages to provide us with hilarious moments, unexpected drama, and just endless memes that we couldn't possibly script if we tried. So I want to leave you with this final provocative question to ponder. What's the funniest thing that could realistically, or let's be honest, completely unrealistically happen at the 2026 FIFA World Cup? Thank you for exploring this structured chaos with me, and definitely keep your eyes open for the madness when the real tournament finally kicks off.